Happy New Year, Bobby. I cannot think of a better way to start off the new year than by rewatching perhaps the most rewatchable movie of all time. Now, not the best, but I would submit to you this movie is basically the hypothesis for this podcast, right? You're sitting around with a bunch of buddies. The story goes, hey, you're flipping through channels, which sadly we can't really do anymore. Like the flipping through channels doesn't exist in the streaming age, but back in the day, you're flipping through channels, a movie pops up. Which one are you just simply not turning away from? And I think this is at or incredibly near the top of that list because there's no down moments. It's always good. There's always, oh, wait, we're coming up to this scene. And if you're anywhere within 15 to 20 minutes of the Jessup Caffey showdown in the courtroom, you have to stick with this thing, right?
Yeah, well, you didn't mention the name of the movie, so I like that little term. You didn't mention a few, but if we say Jessup and Caffey, we know that it's A Few Good Men. I tell you, what's funny? We were down at the beach, and you log in to YouTube TV, and, on YouTube TV, all of your favorite channels are forced to the top, right? It's basically just ESPN and, NBC or whatever. Well, if you log on to another YouTube, it's not. You can channel surf, and there are amazing movies on at all times on cable, like the FX and the FXM or whatever it is. So give the channel surfing, don't sleep on the channel surfing, but an absolutely incredible rewatchable movie. We just said kind of in pre-production, I'm not going to do any of the monologues. I think I could do them justice, but that's all I would be doing this podcast is writing them down and reading off just all of the. Caffey is unbelievable. Tom Cruise is unbelievable. And it's going to be interesting to go through his filmography. Why didn't he do this character again? Like, he is awesome as Caffey. And he's a very, very young Tom Cruise. He is awesome as Caffey. And he really doesn't reprise this, not the role of Caffey, although Few Good Men too. A Fewer Good Men. Maybe that would be good. But he really doesn't reprise this role. It's mostly just action movies, which are awesome. I'll take all of them. But he is really, really underrated in this movie and just gets overshadowed by a bunch of good actors in this movie, namely Jack Nicholson, but really, really good.
Yeah, and he is really young, right? Like Lily walked by as I was watching. I was like, wow, Tom Cruise is like a baby in this movie. They all do. Demi Moore, who we talked about on Landman, and just a stacked cast. And I agree. Gosh. Maybe why doesn't Tom Cruise do this movie? Why don't they just make this kind of movie anymore? Like, just load it up with a packed cast. We'll talk about that, I'm sure. There's not a lot of action, right? There's really nothing that happens where anyone's moving anywhere. It's just great people with great Sorkin dialogue and Reiner, who we're going to talk about, who directed it. It's just great. I miss this kind of, I was just enthralled with it. It lasts for 2 hours and 18 minutes, which in general you and I would have a problem with. I had no problem. I could still be watching this movie. Give me 12 hours of this. It was just nonstop. There was no point in the movie where I ever clicked ahead 10 seconds. You?
Oh, no, never. There was never any reason to do that. Yeah, and you think about all of this movie was done on a sound studio. I mean, you've got the courtroom. You've got where Dawson and Downey are being held. You don't have any special effects. I know that's not Cuba. I mean, the special effects of them driving along the coast with the Gulf is really, really bad. But I know they didn't go to Cuba, so outdoors for a little bit while they're riding the Jeep. The only action sequence is the very beginning, the Code Red, which isn't really that action sequence. Outside of the money that you have to pay these actors to do this and the directors and the writers, it's got to be one of the most inexpensive movies ever made, other than that one where that guy's in that coffin. That was pretty cheap, I guess.
Yeah, no, it's awesome. We'll talk a little bit later about Rob Reiner, who sadly, tragically passed away, but man, one of the great all-time runs in the history of directing movies that this guy had. Bobby, we did this last week. Within $100 million, can you name the box office receipts
I didn't
for A Few
look
Good
at
Men?
it. I didn't look at it. I'm going to go higher than I think $350 million, which seems very high for a courtroom drama.
Oh, you were very close. 236.
Yeah, I guess high on purpose. I don't think I would have guessed that high unless I screwed that one up last week.
Yeah, it's close. Number 7 worldwide, which shocked me a little bit. I mean, you're just courtroom drama. People maybe not into that. Number 1, Bobby, in 1992, an animated film. I know you're big in animated film. Any guesses? Robin Williams was the big voice in this one.
Oh, Aladdin, yeah.
Aladdin, yeah. Nice call there. Number 2, The Bodyguard. Do you have a good, and I, you have one of those for me?
Will always love you. Oh, sorry. I got into my little 4 Christmases.
And number 3, the sequel to the last movie we just did, Home Alone 2, which I know you recently just watched,
Terrible.
Right?
Just awful. Just an awful movie.
Why does it not work? Just I don't. The Wet Bandits is just kind of overplayed.
A little bit overplayed. Now I love just running back. A great blueprint that works. But listen, the number 1, my Rudy Sack award for Home Alone was you just can't leave this kid, and you can't leave him again.
Yeah, I don't know that I've seen Home Alone 2 more than twice. Because I'm sure I went back into it. Well, this thing, I'm shocked it didn't win any Academy Awards. Shocked that it was only nominated for 4. It seems like a crime, but let's relitigate this, Bob. So it was clearly nominated for Best Picture. Lost to Unforgiven. How do you view that 30-some-odd years later?
I haven't rewatched Unforgiven once. Good movie, but I haven't watched it. I haven't rewatched it once. Have you?
Yeah, so speaking of flipping through channels, if you're near the end of Unforgiven, you have to watch the end of it. It is slow. I don't know that I'd be excited to go back and watch it. Slow? It's probably just better for just a YouTube clip. Give me the last ending when William Money gets a little bit angry.
That movie's not slow. There's another term. I don't even know what it is, but it's slower than slow.
But man, what an ending. Just incredible. Also, so Nicholson nominated Best Supporting Actor, lost to Gene Hackman, rest in peace, for Little Bill. How do you feel about that?
Awful. Jessup is as good as it gets. That's worse than Val Kilmer, your Val Kilmer take. One of the questions I've got, let's talk about it right now. In my Bob's Big Question is, where did we have Jessup ranked in our best characters of all time? I mean,
sure the Sweet 16. I'm guessing Elite 8. He was really good.
So yes, if you're in the Elite 8 of the Bob Pozotic and Mark Pozotic list, you had to at least have won an Academy Award.
Well, that's interesting. I don't know if any of them did. Cause I'm sure Doc Holliday's in there. He wasn't even nominated.
Rocky didn't win for Best Actor.
Yeah, didn't win.
Yeah, it's Jessup is as good as a movie character gets for sure.
Indeed. Sound and editing. Also nominated, but no wins. 0 wins. Found that strange. Bob, did it shock you? Because it shocked me. I had no idea about this. Is this a true story? Did you know this?
There's no way that's true.
All right, Bobby. I knew you'd maybe possibly question this. It doesn't say, and there was some litigation. Speaking of litigation, but Aaron Sorkin.
What's your website called again? Did you go on that website?
No. But here we go. Here's this story. And it is inspired by real-life Marines, Bobby. I'm going to read this to you. A code red was allegedly ordered in September 1986 against Private First Class William Alvarado, who had written letters to a congressman and others complaining of poor conditions, illegal activities in Guantanamo, asking for a transfer, yada, 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 yada. One night, a group of Marines known as the 10 chose to perform a code red. The 10 restrained a sleeping Alvarado, bound him with tape, stuffed a pillowcase into his mouth, and a gag was placed over Alvarado and a blindfold. They were being dragged out of his room. They said they were going to basically shave his hair. And then Alvarado begins choking. His lungs filled with fluid. He spat up blood, began turning purple as he lost consciousness, perhaps because the gag had been soaked in gasoline, as an attorney would later allege. The code red was immediately stopped, and the Marines called for help. The 10 admitted guilt. They were arrested immediately. 7 of the 10 Marines took plea deals to avoid a court-martial. The remaining 3 elected to stand trial. The 3 argue they committed the code red under the order from a commanding officer and that murder had never been the intention. By the way, this guy did not die, unlike Willie Santiago. He survived. After the release of the movie, 5 Marines from the 10 sued Castle Rock and Aaron Sorkin for stealing the idea from the real-life incident. They were seeking $10 million in damages. The lawsuit did not result in a successful outcome or financial compensation for the Marines. Does this make the movie better or worse, in your opinion, Bob, now that this is actually a true story?
Who the fuck is PFT William Santiago?
I was shocked. How did I not know this?
How is that not on the movie poster?
How inspired by a true story. Yeah.
No, not inspired. That is the exact story. Like some of these inspired by a true story. There's one more so. Yeah. Braveheart, inspired by a true story. We know it's not a true story. That is the story. That's amazing. How did I not know this?
Me neither. How did they keep this that quiet for that long? I mean, I feel like one of these cats should have wrote a book.
And more importantly, who the fuck is PFT William Santiago?
Yeah, it made me long for, like, just going back and watching more Jack Nicholson movies, right? Because he comes onto our scene really late. I mean, this is probably where you and I are introduced. Well, maybe Batman, right, as the Joker. Yeah. But kind of in that, we're catching him at the tail end of his career. Just insane screen presence.
Oh, just the absolute best. And I don't understand. I mean, when I watching him, it was very similar to Hannibal Lecter, Anthony Hopkins, like not on the screen for a long time. He is obviously our, what's our award, our Heath Ledger award. You might want to, maybe 2026, we rename it. That's all I wanted was more Colonel Nathan R. Jessup on the screen.
Yeah. He is a tour de force. Bobby, this was a military movie, I guess. It is a military movie. No helicopter. So I can't ask you about the helicopter rating. Do you feel like there was a miss? We could have had Jessup appear like in a helicopter, something, correct?
Can you fly? I guess you can't fly helicopters in Guantanamo. These Cubans are they trying to kill us? Like, I don't know. No, I can't believe there wasn't a helicopter. Like, as they're panning the yard of the naval yard, there's like a helicopter landing in the background. So I don't understand how that
not even one in the background? I know you go deep on this. Nothing.
No. Right. What was the one I went? I forget what I.
It was like a picture. I think there was one that was like a picture of a helicopter, like a magazine.
No thopters either. No thopters in this movie.
No thopters. Rob Reiner, Bobby, who directed this, tragically passing away here at the end of 2025. What a directing kind of coming on the scene. He's mostly known, I would guess, as Meathead from All in the Family. You ever watch that show, Bob?
No,
and I guess it was you were not even really born. 71, 78. Great YouTube clips. I mean, the fact that Archie Bunker was allowed to exist on national television is shocking. I guess we were once a proper nation, but that's kind of where he gets us started. Becomes a director. 11 of his films or actors that he directed were nominated for Academy Awards, which is pretty impressive. Only one of them won. Kathy Bates in Misery, who you talk about a tough villain. But listen to this kind of his intro to directing. 1984, he starts with "This is Spinal Tap." You ever seen it, Bob?
Never. I think I should, but I've never seen it.
It's like a rockumentary. It's good. I mean, it's interesting. I don't know how many times I'm really watching it. I've seen it, but it's kind of inventive, right? Which is really, when you look at what this guy's done, he's done some things like that. 86, Stand By Me. One of my all-time favorites. I mean, just loaded with a cast, too.
I was 12 going on 13 when I saw my first dead body.
I mean, just awesome. 87, my wife, Lily, her favorite movie of all time, did it on this podcast, The Princess Bride.
Directed that, huh? Did we talk about that? I can't remember talking
Princess
about that.
Bride.
Incredible.
89, When Harry Met Sally, essentially credited with creating the rom-com.
Okay, go on. I'm listening.
91, Misery. He dips back into the Stephen King world again with Stand By Me. Misery, just a brutal, uncomfortable watching that movie.
Might need to rewatch that one.
Yeah. Hobbling. Is that where you first learned of hobbling?
I just hobbled my wife last night. Well, I thought it meant something different.
Oh, jeez. Here comes the E. And then, of course, 92, A Few Good Men. The run kind of ends there. He does American President in 95 and Ghost of Mississippi in 96 with James Woods, which is pretty good. And then just kind of some other stuff. He is credited, Bobby, though, if you recall, one of our favorite movies, I believe top 10, Good Will Hunting, where he kind of helps Damon and Affleck kind of scrap the NSA portion of it. It was like supposed to turn into like a spy thriller.
Yeah.
And Reiner's like, focus on the psychologist angle, which clearly was the right move. But man, that 5-6 movies out of the gate, really like influential movies. I mean, say what you want about This is Spinal Tap. Stand By Me is like often viewed as one of those great for people our age. Like, wow, that was a really cool movie. The Princess Bride is just bizarre, right? But kind of, they've never really made anything quite like that, which is really cool. Although 8-Bit Christmas had a little Princess Bride in it, right, Bob? Where he's kind of telling the story. When Harry Met Sally, Misery, A Few Good Men. Incredible stuff, right?
Well, and then we wanted to honor Rob Reiner. We debated this or Wolf of Wall Street, which he is fantastic.
Jordan Belfort's old man. Yeah.
Yeah, he's fantastic. And we're going to do Wolf here soon. We've made a pact with ourselves. We're going to do more movies in 20. We fell off a little bit. Trust me, we've heard about it from the fans, but we're going to get back into it. Maybe not one a week, but we just got to go with the bangers. We don't know how much longer this will last, so we got to do the bangers. So Wolf of Wall Street's coming up soon for sure.
Yeah, I think sneak alert, Apollo 13 coming soon. Correct? You just went into that.
Just watched it with the kids, and my kids are 11 and 12.
Held up?
And it's amazing. So they're right at this age where you just don't know. I'm probably willing to push the envelope a little bit more than Mary is, but Olivia. So we sit down and watch it, and I really gotta. Sam will pretty much do whatever I tell him to. Olivia's like, I don't know. And then the movie starts, and she is immediately saying, "Are they going to die?" And I'm like, just watch.
Just watch.
And she's like, "Are they going to die?" And so I had to let her know they're not going to die. So I don't know if that ruined it for her or what, but they absolutely loved it. It held up. It was awesome.
Yeah, fast paced. But again, this is not hard, folks. You just stack a movie with a bunch of really good actors, give them some juicy material, a true story, which apparently we're talking about today, and you really lean into that.
It changes everything. Changes absolutely everything. I know we'll go into Hall of Fame plaques, but was Cuba Gooding Jr. in this movie? Did we know who he was at this point?
I don't know, man. It was great to see him. It was great to see Noah Wyle. I mean, just people popping up, just kind of everywhere. Bob, you got any awards? Anything else?
No, sir. No books, sir. I love
great scene.
The quotes are so good, and I don't even need to touch. You can't handle the truth. I mean, that's levitates above this whole entire movie. But some of these quotes, I can't believe how many times I use these quotes, and I even forgot where they. Yes. I forgot they came from this movie. I forgot.
Agree, and it's not the main ones. It's not the main. It's these little, just under the radar things that I say all the time. A lot of these I say at work. There's just a ton of them. I can't wait to get into it.
No, sir. No book, sir. And I tell you, the overarching theme of watching this is it's one. You see these real life crime dramas, which I'm not that into, but I'll kind of watch them. Or you'll see a TikTok video of somebody going crazy in a courtroom. I think most lawyers are terrible. We think their lawyers are like this. Like, couldn't Tom Cruise have? I've got a list of in Hall of Fame plaques actors that should be lawyers. I mean, Tom Cruise would be an incredible lawyer.
Shouldn't all actors be lawyers? I think it would work, right?
They should. I'm going to give you the list. It's basically the greatest actors of all time. But then you just look at them as a lawyer; they'd be amazing.
That's who you want defending you, correct?
You don't want these guys with disheveled, cheap suits and because they're not. Most lawyers aren't making that much money like these. Like if you're getting picked up for a DUI, I don't know if you can't afford a lawyer. I don't know if you're getting the best lawyers that money can get here. But the overarching theme was just, what can you prove? It was fun to watch it in that light of okay, we kind of know what happened. The motives and all the things that are explained by Caffey are totally believable, but it's, what can you prove? And we'll go do a deep dive into Bob's big questions and big questions of this kind of these twists and the turns. If they went a different way, what would be the ultimate ending for Dawson and Downey?
Yeah, I would agree with you. I did look at it through that lens, probably because I'm doing this podcast and looking for questions. But as I'm going through it, I'm like, these dudes should take the offer. I mean, there's no way. Because, look, it's a wing and a prayer to get Jessup to do this. Wow, now, They do lead into his bravado like early, so you're watching it and you're like, Cruise is right.
So great.
He's dying to say it.
Great.
He is dying to say it. Yeah.
He's setting it up because again, Cruise is smart. The oregano bit. Man, when he meets Joe, that might be my favorite scene. Taking Jessup out of it. He's got the crumpled up paper and the apple, but he's very, very smart, and he's layering and building this case. It's so unbelievably written, and rewatching. This was probably one of my favorite rewatches other than probably Rocky. I knew Rocky was a great movie. It competes for my favorite movie of all time, but I forgot how good of a movie the first Rocky is, and how good the acting is, and the story. This was an amazing, amazing performance by Tom Cruise, and the writing and the story, and Joe and Weinberg and Jessup and Kendrick and just everybody. It was so good. No, sir. No book, sir.
Are you Markinson? I could be Markinson.
I'm not Markinson, so that's 2 down.
That's 2.
The little comedy is awesome.
Golden Schmoes, Bob? Anything?
No, Coach, I gave up. I gave up on that.
Yeah. All right, let's move on. Let's move on. Memorable scenes. Bob, can I just submit to you the movie? Would the movie be fine if we just said that's memorable scenes? Start to finish.
I think, so when you think of our top movies, okay, so I think Rocky is a top 3 movie of all time. But if somebody said you hadn't seen Rocky yet, you'd say you got to see that. Like, I don't know what I'm trying to say here. Meaning, like if somebody hadn't seen The Dark Knight, I could see somebody not liking The Dark Knight.
Yeah, if you're not in the comic book
movie, and like Interstellar, like that's my favorite movie of all time. Mary's never watching Interstellar. No matter on my deathbed, I say, Mary, my one wish for you is to watch Interstellar. She'd be like, we'll be fine. Somebody hadn't seen A Few Good Men, you have to watch A Few Good Men. You have to watch Shawshank Redemption. Although those rape scenes are a little much, but like you have got to watch Few Good Men.
This is the safest thing because I could see people not being into a prison movie. Rocky, we love it because we know what's coming. It's slow.
The first Rocky is very slow. It's very slow.
Very slow. And I think we love it because we know what's coming, right? This one, I agree with you. I think it's the safest recommendation to say, I would love to run into somebody who has not seen this. I would be like, oh my God, I am so jealous of the fact that you're going to get to see this.
Well, and remember we said famously, we drew a listener into watching Interstellar who had never seen it. One, he was listening to our podcast and never saw it, and emailed us and said, incredible recommendation. I would put the same amount of fervor behind this one. Like if you're listening to this and you have not seen A Few Good Men and you're searching for something to watch on a Sunday night before work gets started tomorrow on January 5th, man, put this bad boy in, especially if it's raining by you, because it's raining a lot in this movie.
Yeah.
So it's so good. So yes, it makes this section of the podcast a touch slower if you just say the movie is the best scene.
Yeah.
But let's go.
Yeah, I'll go through it. Now look, I am going to just caveat every scene in the courtroom. I'm just going to blanket that it's good. But let's kind of go back. I think the first really good one that I really liked, kind of dove into, was when you meet Jessup for the first time. It's basically a flashback, right? Where we're going prior to the Code Red happening to Santiago. It's where Jessup learns about Santiago. You get Markinson and Kendrick, which are just Kiefer Sutherland as Kendrick is incredible as a Marine. Markinson is awesome. J.T. Walsh is just so good. I loved Jessup referring to him as Matthew. Now, I don't have that. You have that, Bob. How demeaning is it, like, if your superior just sitting you down, undressing you, and just goes, now, Robert, I realize we went to school together, and I'm just more successful than you, Robert. Do you have a problem with that? Does the Robert, used in a proper way, Bobby, is it as derogatory as Matthew sounds?
I don't know, because Bob is so different than Robert. Matt and Matthew. Yeah, I don't, but it is, it's amazing. That's where you get, that's why I said it first, and I've got a Hall of Fame plaque for best first line of a character introduction. It's a close-up of his face. You don't know what's coming, and it's just, who the fuck is PFT William Santiago? You think about this guy, he's ahead of everything. He's going to be, national director of the NIS or whatever it was in there. He's so, got everything buttoned up, and this is happening under his guard. He's just so annoyed he needs to be dealing with this. And something I forgot in the intro, I mean, the Edward DeLongshanks Award, the whole movie, everybody's just doing their job. They're just doing their job, which is great. Yeah. It's awesome. The introduction is awesome. I don't know if it's better, to your point of all the courtroom. I have the intro to Jessup, but one that happened before this was Caffey's introduction to Joe is amazing.
Hilarious.
He's got the briefcase. Weinberg's there. He's got the apple in his mouth. And this piece, I've never crumpled trash as much as he had the directions and who he's supposed to meet in this. And he goes, this is Weinberg. And he says, I have no responsibilities whatsoever. Have you ever been in a courtroom? Yeah, I once had my license revoked once, 44 cases in 9 months. One more, I get a set of steak knives. It's so awesome. It's so awesome.
It is incredible. I think next we get into Caffey and Weinberg, kind of meet Dawson and Downey, right? This is where they learn about the term Code Red. Caffey wants no part of this. He's trying to figure out how he can get in and out of this thing, get to the plea deal as fast as he can. And you get the sense right off the bat that Dawson has just got no respect for Caffey. And he probably shouldn't, right? Like Caffey's this, a snot-nosed lawyer who's just kind of biding his time. Dawson is just, his whole life revolves around honor, code, and all that kind of stuff.
Yep.
And being a Marine. But just this interaction, just kind of setting up this hostility between the defendants and their lawyers, the guys representing them, I thought was a really interesting dynamic.
It's awesome. I've got some questions on how Caffey and Weinberg are so clueless as to, I don't know if they would be able to recite the code, but have never heard of the code. I mean, that's kind of, I kind of know Marines have a code. I don't know if I could say, God, Corps, Unit, Country, or no, what was it again? It was Corps, Unit, God, Country, which might be a little off base. But they were kind of clueless on this, and it didn't start that way, because Dawson knows what he's doing. He knows it's a superior officer, but then quickly realizes this guy is everything he's not. I mean, it's in what's hold ups. It's in what holds up is Dawson said, I didn't do anything wrong. And if that means I got consequences, I'll take them. I mean, we need more guys like that. It's great. Catching, I know you said every court. I think that's a little cheating. Every courtroom, but but catching the doctor, basically, hey, is there any way this could happen? Yes. Oh, there'd be signs. What are the signs? And then he just lists all of Santiago's signs. And then that's the first time you see the fiery Caffey of course you wouldn't, because if you put somebody out there that you gave a clean bill of health to and something went wrong, you'd have to answer for that. It's so, because I ain't trusting that doctor. I don't know who that doctor is. I don't know who that actor is, but I don't trust him one bit. So it's good. But again,
great performance, just some random 3-minute piece in the movie. The guy nails it. The doctor.
Nails it. So did Caffey. Caffey was great. We
go to Cuba, Bob. This is where I think the movie kind of gets into overdrive. I love Weinberg tells him to wear the whites. Noah Wiley's like, dude, you better put some camo on. People are here to shoot you.
Good call, Sam.
Good call, Sam. And the lies begin, right? Like you now start to see the lying start coming out about, we were going to transfer him, which based on the flashback, is not true. We're going to put him on the flight, this, that, and the other. And then a part that was really neat, I know I've caught it before, but just the throwaway thing at the end, where Caffey's like, I'm just gonna need the logbook, I'm just gonna need, or the transfer order. Right? I'm just gonna need to see that. And you see Nicholson shook, I think, for a little minute, and then the part that I think really sets it up, where Caffey knows he can get him. Jessup, who was caught off guard, is now going to be like, no, now I'm going to undress you. Now I'm going to embarrass you in front. I'm going to ask you to ask for it. Pretty please. I thought it would just set up that dynamic, because that lets Caffey know that this guy thinks all of this is a charade. I can't do anything wrong, and he will admit to it later on.
Yeah. It's all of that layering and layering and layering that all culminates to the end. We all know that it's probably coming, but it's great. Kendrick on the stand is amazing. Kiefer Sutherland, underrated, overrated, properly rated?
Based on that performance, underrated. I've always liked Kiefer Sutherland. He's one of those guys, all these guys, him, Bacon, put him in a movie, I'm interested, because they're really, really good.
But it'd be amazing to go. I mean, we've done 100 of these movies. Have we ever done a Kiefer Sutherland movie? I mean, what's a Kiefer Sutherland movie? I mean, it's Flatliners.
He's pretty good in Young Guns. Well, Lost Boys is my Hall of Fame plaque for him, but in Young Guns, him as Doc, I do enjoy.
And then he's got 24 for several years. That's kind of what people think of him as. But yeah, that's an interesting thought. And then, other than the last scene, which I don't even know if we need to go over. We can talk a little bit about how the setup happens. But before that is, I forgot, you were sick the day they taught law at law school. When Downey gets on there and admits that he never heard the order, it was given to him by Dawson, and Cruise goes and gets drunk. That whole monologue of him yelling at Joe is absolutely amazing.
Oh yeah, that is awesome, and that's when you get the Caffey Dawson square off in the little holding room where he's just like, I cannot believe this is what's going on. He offers him the deal, and that's where you get the don't salute thing, right? Where he's leaving. He's like, hey.
No. That's after. That what you're talking about is before.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to go in order.
Oh, yeah. Oh, sorry.
Yeah, but I really like that when he, you get he's berating Dawson, and Dawson just fires right back at him. I mean, the lines are just being crossed, and I thought that was a really good interplay.
I will not disrespect myself, the Corps, or my country, so I can be home in 6 months.
It's a hockey season. Yeah. And then to the point where you were just going, when Downey basically admits on the stand that he never directly heard from Kendrick about the Code Red. Incredible scene, because you just see it unraveling. It's going bad really fast, and you get, which I use a lot, Bob, I don't just object. I strenuously object. Oh, you strenuously object. How funny is that part?
It's very, very, very good. Very, very good. There's so many of those lines. I can't wait to get to quotes.
And then the stuff you went through, Bob, Noah Wiley's scene on the witness stand about the Code Red not being in the manual, not the mess hall, and Kevin Bacon kind of gives him that was pretty good. What is it, Bob? No book, sir?
No, sir. No book, sir. I love that.
I mean, the thing ultimately culminates, and I think maybe clearly it's the one most YouTubeable or most memorable, is the Caffey Jessup showdown. And I love it's like Jaws entering, like when Jessup enters through the door, or it's like Rock. We've talked about Rocky. This is the fight, right? Like they're coming in there. Yep. This is the showdown. This has been building. You've been waiting for it all movie. And it's a head-to-head showdown. And have you heard the story about this? Tom Cruise credits this moment, this scene in this movie, with teaching him how to become a real big-time actor. Because, Nicholson does this speech. Now, apparently they film at 40 or 50 different angles, right? So they focus the camera on Bacon, focus it on this. And in general, according to Cruise, usually the guy just does it one time, and then it's just a recording because they're just giving facial reactions of Demi Moore sitting there listening to it. Apparently Nicholson does it 50 times, like live, and just every time is with so much intensity. Cruise was like, wow, I learned what it was like to be an actor there. And I could picture him doing it, right? Nicholson just going off.
And nobody talking to him, like somebody says something to him, he doesn't answer him. Just angry. I love the way Jessup answers the first couple questions and answered the questions in Cuba too. It's like, so, when you came here, like, when did you learn you were, or I forget what the first question was, but Jessup just goes, yes.
Love it.
And then just shuts up. Asks him another question. Yes. And just lets Caffey squirm a little bit.
So in Cuba, because Caffey goes, because he's doing that, he's just like, yes. He goes, if you want to add anything, to this, and Jessup just sits there and smiles. It's incredible.
No, I think he goes, thank you. Just sits there.
A low-key great look. Obviously, the you can't handle the truth and all that stuff is fantastic. The part I really like about it is Caffey's face once he realizes that it worked. Jessup says it, and he's kind of like, it's like, I planned everything. I didn't know what to do after he did it.
Also, Joe and Weinberg didn't move, right? They were taught by Caffey. Anything you hear in this courtroom, you expected it to happen. We saw it when Joe was strenuously objecting. I mean, Cruz and Weinberg are just pissed and steaming, but they're just trying to keep it steady. And then he admits to it. And yeah, he doesn't know. In Article A34, the witness has rights. What are you talking about? I'm going back to my unit. It's so good.
I love it. So, Bob, I guess we're arbitrarily just going with the end there, right? I mean, it just have to be. So many memorable scenes, but it just has to be that.
Well, I mean, unless we want to omit it. And if we omit it, it's either Caffey meeting Joe or Caffey drunk after Downey admits he didn't hear the code red.
Yes, and the you can't handle the truth division. Quotes, Bobby, you said you weren't going to go through any of these, and you're probably right, because it just wouldn't work. But, I'll just start it off. The no responsibilities here whatsoever. I will say that at minimum once a week, on a call, on a Zoom, just hey, can someone take this? And it's oh, so Joe, you have no responsibility here whatsoever. Not many people get it, but I love that quote. It's amazing, because I'm sure when he wrote it, he had no intention of that thing being memorable. He's like, You think that's memorable? Wait till I get to all this stuff Nicholson's doing. But I love it.
I think one you probably use more than that, and you don't even realize it. Go do whatever it is you do. I'll say that to the guys at work all the time.
Whatever it is you do when you're not here.
Yeah, just go do whatever it is you do. And it always gets a laugh, but I don't think it's because from that. And then
Bob, if I say to you, "Are we clear?" What's your follow-up?
Crystal.
Every time.
Every single time. Every single time. Grave danger? Is there any other kind?
Is there any other kind?
No, sir. No book, sir. I want to slam dunk this guy. I mean, I should have made a Hall of Fame pack of corniest movie lines ever. I can't even believe it's in the movie. They're walking. He's walking. You go, I'm ready to get. I want to slam dunk this guy. Why was that left in the movie?
It was the early 90s.
How long did it take Downey and Pickup to make it to post?
45 flat.
45. Me and Pickup made it in 45 flat.
yeah, that's a good one.
And why was he late? There was a
flat tire or something.
No, it was a blowout. How many times do you say that? Why were you late? There was a blowout. There was a blowout. And then, obviously, you want me on that wall, you need me on that wall is almost as iconic as you can't handle the truth.
Well, even when he just goes, you fucking people. All you did was weaken a nation. I love that. When he just goes, you fucking people. It's just hilarious. And every time Nicholson says lives, he just leans into it. I love him saying, might be my favorite quote or word ever said in a movie, lives.
Lives, yes. Well,
my existence, people.
Yeah. Well, my existence to you may be grotesque. It saves lives.
And I did write down every time Jessup says, yes. I'm going to start answering questions that way. Yes.
Yes.
But that's a great lesson. You don't need to expound. Just yes.
No, especially in a court of law or with a police officer. Listen, you just answer the question. That's it. That's all you got to do. I mean, they're counting on you to just blab. That's what they're counting on. And Jed, he gets them, and he gets them to start blabbing.
Gets them blabbing. Bobby, there may be no movie that has things that hold up more than this. I'll just give you one. A great cast. A great cast will always hold up. I don't know that it's ever not worked. You just can't load all these people into a movie and it be bad. I'd love to know an example of it. But that's one. What do you got? What holds up?
Following orders. Jessup. Tom, get the president on the phone. We're surrendering our position in Cuba. He goes, yes, sir. He goes, Tom, hold on that. He would have done it. Got the president on, told him. And it being a man's world, Caffey turns to a guy and says, nobody likes her very much. He goes, yes, sir.
Yeah, that's hilarious.
Not questioning orders in front of a superior. That's always great. Listen, you just got to do what you got to do. What the superior is saying. Alpha males hold up. They just do. Obviously you can't take advantage of it. None of that. But you need alpha males. You need Colonel Nathan R. Jessup.
Yep.
I mean, we might skip to questions. One of my Bob's big questions is, did he weaken the country today? And the answer is yes. They weakened the country. The military holds up. believing in honor. I mean, Dawson, I mean, again, one lesson I'm trying to teach my kids is you just got to admit and accept the consequences. Just accept that everybody is trying to get out of consequences. Just accept the consequences. Cutting someone off to show dominance. The last courtroom scene, one of the best things that Cruise does is this Jessup, who every single person in the military except the president will just be a church mouse when he's talking. He'll start giving an answer and Caffey will just cut him off. Like, I wonder if that is in the direction, in the writing. This is when you cut him off. This is when you do it. Because it provides so much dominance over Caffey's standing. Jessup is sitting. I know Jessup doesn't like that, but just cutting him off is so good. And then, great acting holds up. I mean, we talked a little bit about that. Great acting holds up.
All right.
Yard arms hold up. You know what a yard arm is? Yard arm is the things that come off the mast of the ship. Two ways they used yard arms to punish people. One, you'd hang them from it. That's pretty final. The other one is knee crawling. Do you know what knee crawling is? Mark, this is a thing that existed, and maybe this should hold up. I mean, I know of people that have been in the Navy. They're not the greatest people you want protecting our country. They would hang them by their body off the yard arm and then run them over with the boat. It wouldn't kill them. These are sailboats in the back time, not with the prop. It just some of them would drown, obviously, but they would just run them on the boat.
Good Lord.
Consequences, Mark, holds up.
I'm not sure that holds up. But I'll give you some more. What holds up? You mentioned it, the slow release of the plot. Just kind of teasing one thing out. You just kind of watch it. Great writing, which is probably more discipline. Navy whites. I know it's kind of a punchline in this thing, but Navy whites are really good, like in a movie. It just looks very classy, Bob. Don't you think?
I know. I wish we had Tom Colucci's hat. I mean, that's all I keep thinking about. It's his hat.
Code Red holds up. We all learned about Code Red at this point. You think the Marines are just like, probably shouldn't have let that one out. You know, what do you think they do? What do you think they call it now?
Yeah, it's not a Code Red. I mean, you can't say that without laughing on a Marine base.
Right? Gotta be. DC monuments. I think that always works in a movie. Courtroom dramas. Just I could take one a week. Just give them to me. I love it. Yelling objection. I mean, you just objection. It just seemed like a kind of a cool thing. And as a plot device, living in your father's shadow just will always work. It'll always work with crews, like Pete Mitchell. His dad was a great pilot. Here, Lionel Caffey was apparently a really tough lawyer.
You got bullied into that courtroom, Danny. Shoot, I even dared you. You got bullied in that courtroom. I'm a memory of a dead lawyer.
Exactly.
You're a lousy fucking softball player, Jack.
That's funny. Questions. Is Downey slow, Bob?
Is it hell? Is this Washington D.C.? I mean,
what are we doing?
Some of the lines are really, really bad, and this is the first time it ever hit me watching this movie, and I don't want to, dig on the plot here or blow some holes in it. In a jury filled with military men and women, does anybody think their intent was to kill him? Like, really?
No.
You know what I mean? Like, it's manslaughter. It's what you're telling me that the Marines' defense is they went in there with the intent to kill Santiago? No way that would ever be the intent, correct?
Yeah. Involuntary manslaughter at best.
Yeah. Did that hit you this time in this rewatch of like, that's not believable at all?
Yeah, it was like they're kind of being overcharged,
For sure. Why are Cubans trying to kill us?
Not clearly explained.
I don't really know. Was the Code Red a bit much? I mean, it was pretty violent. I don't remember that opening scene, to your point. Like, it's kind of one of these movies that I've seen a million times, but I've never watched start to finish. Kind of Apollo 13. Do you remember the beginning of Apollo 13? They show those guys dying in the fire in that capsule. I don't remember that. Olivia's like, this movie ain't for me right now. But it was a bit much, wasn't it? I mean, if you're
a lot of blood for lactic acidosis, right? That room of his, the bed is covered in blood.
Well, I don't know, Mark. If you stuck something down my mouth and taped it and then taped me, I think I might die. Just of fear. I mean, it's just, ugh, yuck. Mark, here's a question for you. Is oregano a condiment?
No, it's a spice.
It's a trick question. It's both. It can be a condiment, but it's not a spice either. It's an herb or an ingredient. When he said it was a condiment, I was like, I'm never putting oregano on something, am I? I mean, maybe I am. Who knows? Are there people like Jessup in the military? Is he the norm or the exception?
And neither. It's somewhere in between. He's clearly not the exception, clearly not the norm, but yeah. And to the point, you need that guy. Right?
I want him on that wall. I need him on that wall.
Jocko, who just does a podcast now, don't you think Jocko in the Line of Fire was a lot like that?
I don't know. Yeah, is Downey a little too dumb? I put in there, he's a little too. How? Answer the corporal's question. Again, I already talked about this. Weinberg and Caffey can't be that dumb. Like Downey or Dawson's explaining to them the code and the honor and this, and they're like, "Really? That really happens out there?" Like they were kind of a little too dumb on that. Do the Marines really hate the Navy? I think we've talked about this. Does everybody else hate each other?
Yeah, I think you gotta love that like interplay. Like every time we go to fight somewhere, you boys give us a ride. I like that.
I have two governing bodies in my loft, the Lord our God and Colonel Nathan R. Jessup. And Caffey goes, let the corporal, he didn't see this court as a superior to him. So they're researching, they're getting to Caffey's apartment, they're doing all this work. And this is 1990, two? What did we say?
92.
And there's just law books everywhere. To our greatest point ever made in this podcast, the encyclopedias me and you were using to write papers in school were at a minimum 5 years old. How old are these law books? When do they get updated? Where are these books now? Who's writing these books? To our point now, we know you can't believe anything you read. Who's writing these books? How old are these books? Hey, I referenced this, and the judge is like, well, that's not true because this happened last week. I mean, a very inefficient way of doing things, correct?
Inefficient, yeah. Grok would have saved him a lot of time.
So many books. So Dawson, it was never disputed that he shot at his mirror on. Why was he shooting? Like what?
Said he was engaged. His mirror engaged him.
But really? Do you think that was never really engaged? What? Pointed a weapon at him? Shot at him? What happened there?
I don't think shot at him. Getting ready. He felt he was being engaged, and I trust Dawson.
Is this judge lazy? I mean, the first day of the trial, they call two witnesses, and he's like, "All right, we'll meet again tomorrow." They were there for 30 minutes. There was nothing happening.
Yeah, movie. We got to cut to the Caffey.
Mark, how much time what was Jessup's punishment?
Well, I have that in the ending. Can we talk about that when we get to ending?
Okay. Yeah.
What goes on here?
Yeah. When he's whispering to Jessup, how does the jury hear him? Kind of like Gladiator. Like, how does William Wallace get this whole place wound up? He can only talk to like everybody else like, huh? There's no way the jury heard him when he was getting real dramatic and whispering too. How did they hear him, Mark? Answer me that question.
Is there a microphone, like a boom mic? Maybe he's got a boom mic with him.
So, in the interrogation, you're right. It's just like Rocky, because he turns to Weinberg, and Weinberg is basically saying, "Throw the towel, throw the damn towel." He's like, "Don't do it." And Jessup gets up. If he never gets up, does he get pushed to the edge? Because now he's told to sit down. And now it's right. If he never gets up, does he ever get taken to the point of admitting the code red?
It was a critical part of it. But like I think Caffey was right. I think Jessup was dying to say it. I think he was just dying to say it because he didn't think there'd be any consequences.
Did Jessup and Kendra, this bleeds into Edward DeLongshanks, does he deserve the punishment?
Who?
Jessup.
Well, we don't really. That's kind of the ending, but we don't really know what the punishment's going to be. So we probably need to talk through that. Like, what's going to happen to him?
Well, he's been read his rights, and then he said he's going to go arrest Kendrick. So Kendrick's getting arrested.
Yeah.
Jessup's getting arrested. He got arrested. Does he deserve to get arrested? Forget the punishment. Does he deserve to get arrested?
Because it's the military, yes. Now we could just do it right now. Nothing's happening to Jessup. Kendrick's taking the fall here. Jessup's doing something. Maybe a little like ding on the thing, or he's going to get some 30-day paid leave.
He's not
Nothing's
get that
happening.
Promotion. He's not getting that.
Yeah, but he's correct. But he's fine. He's going to go be like a teacher at the Marine Academy or something. Something's happening. Nothing's happening bad to Nathan R. Jessup.
Okay, all right. I have no responsibilities here whatsoever.
A lot of Yoo-hoo chocolate milk, Bob. Where do you stand on it?
When's the last time you had a? No. When's the last time?
100, maybe high school. Probably 1992 after I saw this movie.
Yeah,
of course, I'd have been in college at this point, so no. Yeah,
I can't imagine going in and grabbing a Yoo-hoo. I can't imagine that. Can't imagine that.
Ever use military time, Bob? You think we should use that? Do you ever just go, hey, 0800 hours?
Well, here's what we need to do. We need to go to when we go to the beach, we're in the Central Time Zone. I work a lot in the Central Time Zone. I never switch my computer, my watch, my phone. It's always on Eastern. So I think I would like some sort of universal time. I do like the military time. Am very, very intrigued when I sit next to someone and on their Apple Watch it says like 1620. I'm like, this guy knows what's going on here. That's
right. Can you do it good? Are you good with it? Like you see 1620 and know it's 420? Like, do you know it?
I can get, but it takes me just as much time to figure that out as it does when I look at my watch, and my watch is a hand watch, to figure out the time. I'm like 5:45, I think it is right now. Yeah. It's very, very difficult. But I tell you what, we had a conversation over Christmas Eve when you guys chickened out because your immune system is bad. The having your GPS set to always north.
Yeah, we've talked about this. Yeah, I just wherever I'm going is going that way.
So Chad Bradshaw, a good buddy of mine, his dad was a pilot, so I think this is where he gets it from, and this is kind of his deal. He's the kind of guy that if he's going to some place, if he's coming to Atlanta, he's gonna know the map. He's gonna be like, so Marietta's that way, right? Is the stadium's northwest of us? He just likes to know where he's at, which is a very admirable quality because I have none of that, and he is always north. And he's right. When you're looking at the map, it does give you good perspective. But if the map says you have to take a left, but on the map it says right, you'll never go anywhere. You'll never find a place anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, on the GPS, why can't Musk get that thing to get it quicker? You know, like sometimes you're like leaving a parking lot and like spin. Yeah. Like what's the deal with that? And then you say like, I'll just go right. And then it's like, no, should have went left. But
that's fine. Me. Why? I've come to the fact that I know it's not going to pick up. I'm not going to wait for it. I'm just going to turn right.
Yeah.
And if I got to turn around, I'll turn around. It's just these people on the interstate who put their brakes on to take a right. I'm like, just go to the next exit.
Take the L.
Just go to the next exit. Your GPS will pick it up. I mean, those people I think should be put in jail immediately. Period.
Court martial.
Court martial. No, sir. No book, sir.
Should they just have transferred him, Bob? Should they just have transferred Santiago?
It's in Bob's Big Questions, so let's talk about it now. I can see both sides. Like, because Jessup's point when Markinson says transfer him, he goes, I've got a better idea. Let's transfer the whole damn base. Tom, get the president on the phone. We're releasing our position in Cuba. Yes, sir. Tom, hold off on that order. There is something to be said. I mean, it's this transfer portal. Now, if my son's in the transfer portal...
Is this the beginning of the transfer portal? Nice pickup, Bob.
It could be. It could be. This is I wrote this in some of my notes here. This is the equivalent of paying college players in the late 90s, early 2000s. Everybody knows it's happening. You just can't get caught doing it. Everybody was doing code raids. You just can't get caught. Yeah. You just can't get caught doing it. I think there's a ton of value of like, hey, you're gonna figure this out. So I think probably you might need to keep him there. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, look, it clears up a lot of issues. If they Santiago for one is alive, they're not getting arrested.
PFT William Santiago.
PFC, private first class.
Yeah.
But I agree with that sentiment of because Jessup's looking at that like a leadership thing, right?
Yes.
Well, Markinson,
yes.
you can't keep, your guys are not in line, which means Kendrick's guy's not in line. You're telling me you guys can't get this guy to be a Marine? So I get Jessup's point. Like, no, this is not how it works, right? He's assigned to us. All of the jobs going down for me is to make this guy a Marine. Do your job, right?
Yeah. Kendrick, Lieutenant Kendrick, if he doesn't get 4646 on his next proficiency, I'm going to blame you, and then I'm going to kill you.
It's so good. Bob, if you were Dawson, because Downey's going to do whatever Dawson, would you have taken the 2-year plea deal? He'd be home in 6 months, basically a hockey season.
It's such a great question. I love Dawson, man. He's like, that's what I did. That I was given an order and I followed it, and if it has consequences, I'll take it. Like I would hope I would have been Dawson, but you're staring down. I mean, we don't go to prison. I don't know if I can go down the street. We're walking down the beach. Me, Mary, Michelle, and the kids. 3 college kids. They're like, "Hey, you play golf?" He goes, "I got a scenario." Like literally, just out of the blue. Maybe they were drinking. "Hey, I got a question for you about golf." He goes, "Here we go. I got a scenario for you." I go to him. "You have no idea how lucky you got stopping me. I love whatever you're about to ask."
Yeah.
And he says, 30 days. You live right next to a 165-yard par 3. 30 days. If you make it, you get $1 million. If you miss it, you spend 5 years in prison.
A hole in one?
A hole in one. 30 days.
No chance.
Well, so I said, "Listen, I ain't going to prison. And by the looks of you guys, you ain't going to prison either."
Yeah.
So the negative is too negative. Like
you need more money. Got to be more money.
Well, this is what he said. He's like, $1 million, you can buy one of these beach houses. And I'm like, no, you can't. So they just have no perspective of, I go, first of all, the punishment is way too much and the reward is not high enough. And so we finally settled on, okay, if you make a hole in one, you get $1 million. If you don't get it, you owe $1 million. And I think I'm taking the deal. 30 days, Mark. So Dude Perfect, they're good golfers. They're not great golfers. Dude Perfect made a hole in one on 167 yards in 11 hours, which blows my mind. And I don't think they're lying.
Yeah.
I think 30 days, I think you're getting one. I think you're getting one in 30 days. Now, I know you've taken more than 30 days of shots in your life, but the same one over and over again, I think you got to take that deal, right? $1 million, Mark. $1 million to make. Or you owe $1 million if you don't in 30 days.
That's fine. The prison angle of it just too much stress, right? Because you get to day 15, you're like, my God, I'm going to jail, right? Like just my hands are tired, Because so many, in a day, I don't know how many shots that is, but the 99.9% of them, the minute it's off the club face, is not going in, right? Like there would be very few like there's this thing I just watched on YouTube. Justin Thomas and Rory McIlroy each had 50 shots from 145 yards to make a hole in one. Neither of them did it, just FYI, 2 of the greatest golfers in the world. And they showed 3 or 4 of them where they're staring it down. Now, this is Rory McIlroy and Justin Thomas. It's just a very few, I'll get in, kind of moments. It'd be tough.
I know. And 165 yards is
not an easy shot. Yeah.
I'm shocked if I hit the green from 165
yards.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, 160. It's almost too far. I would think you would need to have a wedge in your 130 yards.
It's a great
wedge.
It's a great conversation. It's a great conversation.
Caffey was drunk driving, Bob. I had never noticed that Weinstein also in the car. Why would Weinstein let Tom Cruise get behind the wheel there, Bob, when he was just blitzed?
Well, I'm going to put Jessup on the stand. That's what he was trying to do.
All right, Bobby. Let's hand out some awards. I am so excited for this. The Denzel Washington Award for the biggest badass in the movie.
Yes, obviously Jessup is the front runner.
Yeah.
Is Dawson in the running? Is Caffey in the running?
Yeah, I had written, I had Dawson question mark.
Is Kendrick in the running?
Yeah, a lot of badasses. I think ultimately it's Colonel Nathan R. Jessup.
Yeah.
I think Dawson is probably second because he's willing to go to prison for something he clearly didn't do.
Yep. I think you're right. I think it's Jessup.
Matthew McConaughey Award for the best scene stealer in the movie. Jessup has got to be ineligible for this, correct?
Oh, 100% ineligible.
He's ineligible.
Ineligible.
Eligible.
No,
Jessup
ineligible.
Ineligible. Look, honorable mention to the judge. I thought he's one of the better movie judges, right? Keeps it moving along, kind of puts Jessup in his place. Not going to give it to him.
A little lazy, as we've talked about. A little lazy.
A little lazy. Let's break. We'll come back in 2 weeks. Markinson. J.T. Walsh is just awesome. I loved him. Great scene stealer.
Better than... No, sir. No book, sir. Wiley was
That's
awesome.
Phenomenal. That's who you go with?
That's who I'm going with. You got to give it to these military boys. He doesn't hang himself. He gets in full dress uniform, puts him in the center of that room, takes a nickel-plated pistol, puts a bullet in his mouth.
Markinson. J.T. Walsh. So many potentials here, Bob. The Don Corleone Leadership Award for the best advice in the movie.
It's Dawson. Listen, if I did what I was supposed to do, and if I have consequences, I'll deal with it. I'll deal with the consequences. Need more people like that.
Yeah, how about just Jessup? We follow orders or people die. We need some of that.
It's good. You want me on the wall, you need me on the wall.
You fucking people. The big Tom Callahan Award for the best parent.
I think it's Dawson. I mean, you're telling me that guy's not an incredible, incredible father? It's not Downey. We talked about this.
Oh.
There are a lot of dumb parents, but they're not going to win my award for best parent. He seems like a sweet kid, but really, really, really dumb. Really dumb. It can't be Caffey. I can't imagine this guy ever getting married. It can't be Joe. Weinberg's probably pretty good. Weinberg's probably good. Doesn't take his job too seriously. But I think it's Harold W. Dawson.
Other than being a terrible softball player, I want Jack as my dad. I mean, he seems like he's got his proper perspective, takes the job seriously, not too seriously. He's out hanging with the boys, drinking a beer every now and again. Recognizes he's trying to help Caffey, who he's going against.
Yeah, he's trying to help.
Jack Bacon. Yeah. How about that flat top, Bob? Has there been a better flat top in a movie?
So good. I mean, he should have been in the military. He looks great in that outfit. It's hard to look bad in that outfit. It looks so good in that outfit.
The Gen A Award for worst parent. Because of your explanation, Bob, I did go with Downey. I think he'd just be the worst parent.
I think it's Downey. That guy won't be able to function in society.
Yeah, what's he going to do?
He's dishonorably discharged. I don't know where Downey is right now. I have no idea where that cat's at right now.
eBay Award. Item from the movie you'd most want. Is it the book, Bob, that you've referenced a few times?
It has to be. It has to be. I forget. I didn't write it down, but yeah, it's the book of Guantanamo Bay Windward Company, Company Bravo. Oh, sir.
It's either that or the flight logs, right? Like if you just had the flight logs sitting up there, St. Andrews, Gitmo.
That would be really, really good. The flight logs or that book. Or the King James Bible. That's pretty good, too.
The book, and just go, hey, would you look up the mess hall and that book over there? Well, how'd you know where to go?
No, sir. No book, sir. Well, I think I just followed the crowd at chow time.
Incredible. So I think we've addressed the bad decisions. Maybe the transferring of PFC William Santiago. But what is the Terrence Howard Award for the worst decision?
These federal officers that are allowed that allowed Markinson to have a nickel-plated pistol in his room. Like, I guess he's not a prisoner.
Yeah.
But here's the other thing. Markinson goes, this is my Boston question. I'll do it now. Markinson goes AWOL, okay? Which he had to leave Cuba, by the way, which is an island. And he's packing his bag, and he packs his full dress uniform with a nickel-plated pistol. He's like, all right, I got my underwear, I got my this. Oh, here's my full dress uniform and a nickel-plated pistol in this bag, in one of those hobo bags with a stick. I mean, how does he get off this island? I mean, how does he's on a boat somewhere? He's on a plane? I don't know. I don't think there's
maybe a helicopter.
I don't know. I went to the beach and I wanted 2 pairs of shoes, and I'm like, I don't have enough room. This guy is going AWOL and he packs his full dress uniform.
Well, I'm excited for this, Bobby, because it's time. It's time for Bob's big question.
Is the woman's Navy hat a bit disrespectful to women?
A little tiny.
It just looks demeaning. I mean, why can't they have a regular? I mean, do I need the hat to signify man or woman? When I see Joe, and oh my gosh, Joe. I mean, she is a phenomenally attractive woman and well endowed by our creator. Holy cow, she has she's got some fun bags on that hose hound, correct?
So a big, not argument, but big conversation ensued. So Ellie listened to the Home Alone podcast where we ventured off onto Demi Moore. I have no idea how we got there, but basically on what happened to her on Landman and how I said, and I think you said, one of the most beautiful women in the world. I got a lot of pushback in the house. So like Demi Moore, cute, not one of the most beautiful women in the world. I pushed back on it and did not agree with that, but really some pushback.
Two of her best performances, this and Ghost. She's got that short hair, which I'm not.
Yeah.
How long is her hair in Indecent Proposal? What about striptease? Maybe we'll do striptease with your wife and Ellie. Maybe we'll do that as our next.
And we'll just go Demi Moore, hot or not. But then on the flip side, so on the tail end of this, we watched Twisters. You ever watch Twisters, Bob? It's got Glenn Powell in it.
Yeah.
And they're like, all right, Dad, Glenn Powell's really hot in this one scene. I'm like, what? Just one scene? Like Glenn Powell's not hot? They're like, it's just more of his aura. So like, what? Like Glenn Powell? I'm like, what do I got? What chance do I have if Glenn Powell is not quote unquote hot? What's happening here, Bob?
I don't. Demi Moore not. Did they watch this movie? Did they watch this movie?
Not positive. Lily has seen this movie, not the kids yet.
Jeez.
What do you got, Bobby?
Mark, can you take a shot at Navy ranks, top to bottom? Just take a shot. Top, highest one.
Yeah, well, so that was the one question I had. Like, Admiral is the top of the food chain. Colonel Jessup is below an Admiral, and he talks about there's nobody higher than him.
He's a Marine.
Oh, Marine. Yeah, I guess you're right. So what are we doing? Naval ranks?
Naval ranks. But you were right.
Admiral.
You got the top one. Admiral.
Is it a colonel beneath that? Or commander?
Commander, good. So it goes, this is going to be tough. I thought maybe you'd be able to rip it up. So it's an admiral and then a rear admiral.
It's a rear admiral, yeah.
Then you got captain. Then you got commander. What's below commander, Mark? What do you think?
Major.
A lieutenant commander, then a lieutenant, then a warrant officer, then a petty officer, and then a C.
Yeah, I don't know the naval ranks
just a C,
at all.
Oh, you know the Marine. Okay, do the Marines.
No, the Air Force. I can do that. So Marine colonel is the highest.
You think you still know the Air Force, huh?
The ranks? Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, that
Let's
thing
hear it.
bludgeoned into my brain. Well, you're a second lieutenant, a first lieutenant, then you become a captain, then you're a major, then you're a lieutenant colonel, a colonel, and then the generals. Be my little general. You got a brigadier, major, lieutenant, and general.
Nice. Good job, Mark. Good job. Mark, do you have anybody in your command that's all passion, no street smarts? That's the way they describe Joe. So they're talking about, should we have Joe on this case? And they're like, she's great, this and that. And then the guy in charge is like, I get it. All passion, no street smarts. It's such a perfect. Mark, anybody in your command that's all passion, no street smarts?
Yeah, so I refer to it as give a shit meter. I'm like, you're talking about a guy like, dude, his give a shit meter is really high. We can win with him. Kind of that same thing.
I got you. Mark, so you're going to have to put your ego away a little bit, which I know is really out of control with you.
Ooh.
Anybody that came up through the ranks, pushing pills, carrying the bag, just driving all over the state of Florida, that has just rose through the ranks faster than you. Do you have a nemesis? Do you have a guy or girl out there that's like, I can't believe this guy outranks me in the Watson pharmaceutical world?
That is an incredible thing. Most of the guys that are still around that I came up with were kind of all in the same spot. Now, but to your question, there are plenty of people where you're just like, not really, I don't know how it happened, why it happened, but it happened,
Anybody directly superior, anybody you answer to that you came up with, and they have to sit you down and say, now, Mark, I've been promoted faster than you, and maybe you've taken offense to that.
No, I do not report. I've never had to report into somebody like there was like one of my guys. Okay. No, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So you're the most successful person in the past 25 years.
No, parallel. Just even.
Okay. Mark, any significance to the date that Harold shot his mirror in Cuba, August 2nd? Any other significance to that date?
That is the birthday of one General Robert Montgomery Posadak.
Yes, great job, great job. All right, so the code that they live by is unit, core, God, country. Mark, give me your code.
Well, Notre Dame famously is God, Country, Notre Dame. I have a T-shirt that says that. My code, Bob.
Mark, what's your code?
Good, better, best. Never let it rest you. Good gets better and you better gets best. Go Bears.
Mark, does Dramamine work? They talk about taking Dramamine. Have you ever taken it? It just seems like snake oil to me. By the way, snake oil was a real thing. Coca-Cola started out as snake oil. I'm listening to this podcast, The History of Coca-Cola. Fascinating. Real cocaine.
Really?
Real cocaine. Because cocaine was legal when this thing started. So crazy.
Colombian
podcast.
Bam Bam?
Yeah. Little booger sugar. Little high-speed chicken feed.
What was the question, Bob?
Does Dramamine work? Have you ever taken Dramamine?
Yes. No. You're getting seasick or you're not.
Yeah, right? There's no way this pill is going to make me not seasick, correct?
Yeah, I don't believe in it.
He goes, remember to take Dramamine. I'm not afraid of getting sick. I'm afraid of this plane crashing into a mountain. I don't think Dramamine's going to help that.
That's true.
Mark, if you went AWOL, UA, as Markinson went, would anyone on the planet say, Posadak's gone? There is no Posadak.
What? There could be no higher compliment, right? Than saying
Is
that?
anybody saying that to you?
No. It was Posadak will call immediately. To know exactly. Well, I got Life 360. My family knows where I'm at all moments of time.
At all moments. When does Ellie and Chelsea graduate off Live 360? Is it marriage or is it what is the rule?
That's a great question. Probably never is my guess. Knowing Lily, That's a great question. I guess if you get married and you've created another family, do you opt out of the One Life 360 and start your own? I don't know.
So this just happened. Big Tom Weidman, his son, he's actually a professional baseball player, but he's got his own money now. He's off Live 360. He has no support, financial support from his parents anymore. I.e., no Live 360 anymore.
Wow, that's a great question, Bob. I guess I'll find that out when we get there.
All right. So you're in the jury, and Jessup never confesses. Would you have convicted Dawson and Downey?
Of murder? No way. Something lesser.
So you think that's what it is? They're like conduct unbecoming, manslaughter,
Yeah. I mean, because ultimately your actions led to the man's death.
Correct. I mean, they can't. What's crazy is Dawson and Downey get off scot-free. To your point, their actions. It doesn't. I mean, they're following law, but their actions led to this guy dying. Like Santiago's family's like, wait, what? Hold on, what? What happened? What's going on here? What happened?
Yeah, you never get it from their perspective. Like, there's no Mama Santiago in the courtroom, right?
No.
Which is like a missing. Because I guess you got to start pulling for Dawson and Downey so they don't do that. But yeah, it's a rough one, right? Yeah. I mean, because I never remembered in the movie, but I think Weinberg brings it up at some point, like, well, were the Nazis following orders? And I know that's an extreme example, but it does bring up a good point, right? Like, well, hey, I'm just following orders.
Yeah.
Well, to your point, the coat was a little much. Just throw some soap at the guy's head or something, or punch him, or shave his head, like the gagging, and he was bound and gagged.
Yeah,
I mean, and you knew the guy was kind of a weakling, right?
Yeah,
it's a little
awful.
much.
It was a little much.
Because the code red is not. It's just code red. Like, you're determining the code red.
Yeah, it's not like code red. Make sure you do this. It's like they chose to do that. Yeah. Just throw a sheet over him, hit him with some soap and a sock, and just move on with our day. We don't. Yeah, it's too much. It was too much. Mark, have you ever called anybody son? That's pretty degrading, right? Have you ever called anybody son?
No. Do you refer to Sam as son? I think it'd be hard to. Yeah, if I was to refer to another grown man as son, that feels like I don't. I'm trying to think if I've ever been. I would take it. I would not like that.
No.
If some grown man referred to me as son, I think I would be one of those things. I would be like, "Yeah, I ain't your son."
No, yeah, I agree. No, I don't even call Sam son. It seems like a last generation, a couple generations ago, where you call somebody son. And this is my last Bob's question. We've already talked about this. Where did we have Jessup in our top movie characters? And wherever it was probably too low. But if you say he was a lead 8, you still have that, right? You
still have it. Yeah, still have it.
that-
I got it.
that-
I would imagine. Yeah, so if I said Sweet 16, but he
feels
right.
Elite 8 seems
Might be tough.
Might be tough.
But you got him top 10. He's a top 10 character of all time. That's a tough thing to say.
There's 25 currently in my top 10. So yes, he's
There
top
it
10.
is.
He's top 10. That's it. Great job.
Rudy Sack Award, Bobby, the most emotional moment in the movie. I'll give you mine. It's Caffey's face after Jessup confesses. I just thought it was really good. I know I've noticed it before, but it's really good acting. And all that other stuff leading up to it is clearly really good. But his face was like, oh my God, it worked.
It worked.
I thought it was good. Yeah.
There was a ton. All my notes I've got, Rudy Sack, I kind of write to the side of it, but I think it was the very end. He's, Hal, you don't have to have a patch on your arm to have honor. And then he clicks his heels. 10 Hunt, there's an officer on deck. And then Caffey gives it back to him, and then he turns. That's pretty awesome. I got goosebumps now thinking about that. That's pretty awesome. Kind of just, the full circle.
Rob Reiner did an outstanding job here, Bob. But if you had to have one of the GOATs redo this movie or direct it, would it be Spielberg, Nolan, Scorsese, or Tarantino?
Man, I always go to Tarantino, but that doesn't make any sense. I guess it's probably Spielberg. Spielberg did Schindler's List. I mean, he can do drama. He can do all this stuff. So probably Spielberg.
Yeah, I think it's a Spielberg-Scorsese conversation, but I probably lean towards Spielberg on it, just because there's just more kind of in his wings. Scorsese would have taken it almost like too far.
Yeah,
I think in some respects. All right, clearly this thing does not need a different ending. I mean, we get the crescendo of Caffey and Jessup going at it. The end's a little corny, but to your point, gave you some goosebumps on there. You don't have to wear a patch. So let's just go through the verdict, Bob. Do you agree here? We get 2 not guilty, murder, conspiracy to commit murder. You agree with not guilty verdicts there?
Yes, of course I do.
Conduct unbecoming a Marine, guilty.
I mean, this kind of goes to comparing this to paying college athletes in the early 2000s. Everybody's doing it, but if you get caught, there has to be some repercussions. And I guess we're supposed to fight for people who couldn't fight for themselves. We're supposed to fight for Willie. Mm-hmm. So yeah, that's conduct unbecoming a Marine.
I just changed my Rudy Sack Award to that moment right there, which leads to the dishonorable discharge, which to these guys, in some ways, is the worst thing you could do to them. Clearly to Downey. I'm not sure what that guy's doing. Dawson could probably figure it out. Did we need to dishonorably discharge him? I don't know if that comes with a conduct unbecoming.
Probably does. I don't think you can have conduct unbecoming and then be honorably discharged. Yeah, maybe they appeal. Can they appeal that just to hey, I won't be a Marine anymore, but I don't want this on my record. And then it got me thinking, okay, you go sign up for a job. You just don't put that on your resume. Is that in some sort of database? I don't even know.
Yeah. What'd you do before this? I just kind of wandered the earth.
I worked at a gas station. I was really good at it too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then finally, I think we both agree they're going to arrest Jessup. Nothing's happening to Jessup. Kendrick, he's going to be the fall guy here, probably. I mean, Markinson's dead. What do you? So Jessup, you're not becoming the head of the National Security Council or whatever. You're going to probably lose some dinner dates with the president, things like that.
That's it.
Kendrick is
he's going to serve some
conduct
jail
unbecoming.
Time.
Yeah.
Conduct unbecoming, dishonorably discharged. Yeah, all the stuff. But yeah, Jessup's going to be fine. He's going to be fine.
Clearly. All right, Bobby. Hall of Fame plaques. Whew, I had to stop at some point. I was going through every guy in the cast. Let's start with our guy Jack here. In a lot of ways, you just picture him with his head through that door. Here's Johnny.
Yeah.
From The Shining. Yeah. Because of Heath Ledger's Joker, it can't be the Joker. Mm-mm. And in a way, he looks like the Joker without the makeup. Doesn't he kind of remind you of the Joker, Bob?
Yes.
He's great in The Departed, but he's always going to be Colonel Nathan R. Jessup to me, unless you go with The Shining.
No, in a career that's just absolutely filled with unbelievable performances, he's Colonel Nathan R. Jessup. I don't think there's any way around that.
Which is amazing, right? Now, I'd be interested in a guy who's maybe like Paul. Like, how does Paul see Jack Nicholson, right? Because the guy's had more. He's tied with the most nominations for Best Actor, most consecutive decades of being nominated. I mean, just one of the all-timers that I'm not sure gets thought that way. You know, like if you were just to list off prior to us watching this movie again, are you thinking like Pacino, De Niro, Eastwood, Hackman? How quickly does Nicholson pop into your head?
Oh, he's in that second to third level. Yeah, I mean, I think he's in that second to third tier, which is not.
Yeah.
I mean, the tiers get bigger as they go down, like a pyramid.
Jessup it is. Demi Moore. She's fine in this movie, but no way. I think it comes down. Look, I always kind of remember her from St. Elmo's Fire. I think it's the first time I laid eyes on her. I was like, wow. Ghost, Indecent Proposal, which you mentioned before. G.I. Jane is a memorable role. Striptease maybe for you, Bobby, but I'm going to say Ghost.
Have you seen Striptease? I mean, can I nominate that one for?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
And you don't think of her when you think of Striptease when you think of Demi Moore,
or Bruce Willis's wife.
No, I think it's Ghost with that tear falling down. She's really good. She's really good in Ghost. It's a really good movie. It goes a little bit wacky at the end, but a really good movie.
Bit.
Yeah,
a little bit. Kevin Bacon, just one of the all-time guys in a movie, right? I mean, there's that 6 Degrees of Kevin Bacon, which when you play that game, I usually come to A Few Good Men first. Like, can I find the branch to Bacon out of A Few Good Men? Footloose is generally kind of thought of in the Kevin Bacon world. Mystic River, really, really good. Have you seen Mystic River, Bob?
Oh, yeah.
Tough hang.
Tough hang.
Few Good Men, he's really good in this, but he's kind of a bit part. Flatliners, again, a memorable with a lot of guys, like Sutherland's in that movie. You just watched him as, Captain Jack Swigert in Apollo 13.
It's good.
Really good. I think I'm probably going to give the nod to Footloose. Do you go Apollo 13?
I go Footloose.
Footloose, gotta be.
Exactly
just that picture of him, almost like on the poster.
Oh, yeah. Just like with his arm. You know, he's footloosing. You know, he's dancing.
Kiefer Sutherland, just an incredible Marine. Doc from Young Guns, movie we've got to do here at some point. The Lost Boys, I think that's where my head goes. He just looked like a damn vampire. 24, Jack Bauer is probably his most memorable thing. But I'm going to just say The Lost Boys because I think it's where I first saw him. What about you?
It's Jack Bauer is 24. One of the few shows that Mary kind of got into. We watched several seasons of 24. Yeah.
Are you watching The Pit? If she likes 24, you'll love The Pit.
So, okay, good. I'm glad you said that because Mary and I went to dinner last night and we're like, all right, 2020, kind of 2026. Yeah. We were thinking, I was like, Mary, we've got to stay up an hour later. We've got to do it. If we have, and we got to watch a show. So The Pit is.
Yes.
Okay.
So So first of all, it's your guy. No book, sir. It's Noah Wiley. So you're gonna love that.
What is it on?
It's HBO.
Oh, perfect. Okay.
So it's the same concept as 24. Every hour of real time ish is an hour in the ER. Now look, this is the busiest ER you'll ever come across in the history of mankind. Everything happens. But so if she's like 24, she'll love this. Okay. And she's into like medical stuff. There you go.
Yeah, that's it. Okay, The Pit.
And the next season's getting ready to start in January. So you'll be able to binge the entire first season and then pick right up. There you go.
Well, I'm going to start tonight. And she's going to push back. She'll be like, no, let's start next week. We're going to stay up till 10 o'clock. That's what we're doing. Kids go to bed at 9. We're going to stay up till 10.
Yeah, you got to watch an episode.
Just watch an episode. Yeah, got to do
an episode. Kevin Pollak. I got 2. Well, Marvelous Mrs. Maisel, which was a fun show for a while. He was like Moish, whatever his name was. Lieutenant Weinberg. Or Hockney from Usual Suspects. One of those 2, right? What do you got, Weinberg?
No, I'm trying to look at the year of Gator Growl. So Gator Growl is when you're at University of Florida, Gator Growl is a big event in the stadium the Friday before the homecoming game. And there's Seinfeld's been there. They have a stand-up comedian. Well, one of the Gator Growls I went to had Kevin Pollak as a stand-up comedian, and it was terrible.
Yeah, I wouldn't even think that would be good.
Terrible, like uncomfortable, terrible. And the place is filled with 90,000 people, or whatever, but packed. and that's the only thing I think of with Captain Pollock is him
Wow.
bombing a gator growl in 1998 or whenever. He was there.
Tough beat for Lieutenant Weinberg.
Yeah, who's gonna do it? You, Lieutenant Weinberg.
J.T. Walsh. We loved him as Happy, Bobby, in Blue Chips, but he's going to be Markinson.
Man, it's a close race. I think we might want to do one of those half ones, Happy and Markinson. But yes, probably Markinson.
Our guy, my guy, Tom Cruise, just the greatest Hollywood star in the history of Hollywood stars. He's just a movie star. That guy's charisma oozes off the screen. Like, you just want to hang
good in this movie
with Tom Cruise.
So good.
Incredible. Pete Mitchell, Maverick, Ethan Hunt. To your point, I think we talked about Mission Impossible, and you're just like, he's the Mission Impossible guy. I didn't even know his name was Ethan Hunt. You're probably right. He's just always Maverick. And probably forevermore, right? Can he ever top? It's weird that he doesn't have more, because I think he's just in every movie. He's just Tom Cruise.
He's just Tom Cruise, and I was going back, Collateral is a little like, I mean, it's still action, but there is just no movie where he is this guy again.
The Firm?
But The Firm stinks. The Firm's terrible. There's just no, Days of Thunder is a cool action movie, plays, but I don't know how this rolled in. It's kind of like James Cameron. He's just been wasting his time with these Mission Impossibles for the rest of his life.
Avatar.
You
mean Tom Cruise?
Yes, Tom Cruise is just. I mean, when has he not been making a Mission Impossible movie? I think he kind of sold himself short a little bit.
Yeah, I love him. I think he's the greatest.
He's Ethan Hunt. He's Ethan Hunt. Yeah. He's Ethan Hunt.
You're a Hall of Fame plaques, Bob. You've teased a few here.
Yeah, best first line of a character. Who the fuck is PFC William Santiago? It's the first line that you hear from him. As far back as I remember, I wanted to be a gangster. It's not only the first line. It's not only the first line of of the movie. It's the first line that introduces you to Henry Hill. People are always asking me if I know Tyler Durden. That's the first time you see, it's. I think that's actually the first line of the movie, but it's the first line you see him. I need your clothes, your boots, and your motorcycle. That's the first line of Terminator that Arnold Schwarzenegger says is Terminator. And then this is technically his first line, but he says something before it. But I believe whatever doesn't kill you makes you stranger. Heath Ledger's Joker in Dark Knight. What's the best first line introducing you to a character?
It's got just recency bias. Just who the fuck is William Son? That's a great one.
It's a great one. All right, best cliche that they said in the movie when he goes to the newsstand.
Oh, those were great.
Another day, another dollar. Play them as they lay. What goes around comes around. Can't beat 'em, join 'em. At least I still have my health. Not if I see you first. Nose to the grindstone. No flies on me. Rolling stone gathers no moss. Ain't over till the fat lady sings. You can say that again. What's the best one?
You could say that again, because then they go, I just walked right into that one.
I just walked right into that one. All right, best non-lawyer lawyer. Okay, best person in the world that could be a lawyer. Tom Cruise.
Impossible to beat, I think.
Denzel. I might take Denzel. Al Pacino as a lawyer, just firing away. Morgan Freeman as just knows every law. He's got all these books. Daniel Day-Lewis, like with an English accent,
That's a great point. And
then I had Mark Ruffalo. I just picture like him and just like all disheveled, but just will say something that'll make you really, really think. Mark, who would you want as your lawyer? I mean, you just got to teach them up on the law. Yeah. And just who would you want as your lawyer out of those?
Look, you threw me a bit with Daniel Day-Lewis because the guy could do just about anything. But I think if my life's on the line, I want Tom up there just swinging away. He's good looking. You get some women in the jury. You probably got a chance,
You ordered the code red. You doctored the law. And when it went wrong, you let these guys loose. All right, names you didn't realize were strange. Okay. So I saw Cuba Gooding Jr. You realize his name is Cuba?
That's awesome.
Now I know this isn't his real name.
And he was in Cuba. He was stationed in Cuba.
His name is Cuba Gooding Jr. How does he get a name Cuba? Now, I know this isn't his real name, but Vin Diesel. If you saw Vin Diesel, his name's Vin Diesel. That's what he goes by. Hey, I'm Vin Diesel. Leonardo DiCaprio. Are you telling me you're going to name your kid Leonardo? What? And
is Sam, on that note, is Sam Samuel? Like, what's his birth certificate?
Samuel.
Is Samuel.
No one's calling him Samuel. His sister calls him Samuel sometimes. And then I know, Benedict Arnold is somebody, but Benedict Cumberbatch. I mean, what a damn name. But I think the Hall of Fame plaque for names that are strange that didn't know were strange, the guy's name is Cuba.
Yeah, because for some reason it gets washed over in the Gooding Jr. Like Cuba Gooding Jr. almost feels like his name, right?
Exactly. Hey, what's your name? My name's Cuba. I mean, this guy was in school and he was like, all right, Cuba, present. Like, Cuba? What?
Yeah, Cuba Pizzotic would sound a little strange, but Cuba Gooding Jr. is like the whole thing.
Doesn't make any sense.
No, it doesn't.
All right, best courtroom drama. Surprised you didn't bring this up. I'm going to just fire him away. Runaway Jury, Philadelphia, Rainmaker, Primal Fear, Time to Kill a Mockingbird, 12 Angry Men, The Hurricane, Aaron Brockovich, The Client, Sleepers, Pelican Brief, Few Good Men.
I mean, this one's my favorite movie out of that bunch. I mean, Primal Fear is really good. I'd probably have to rewatch it. Is the movie just overshadowed by the end of it? Like, that twist is one of the all-timer twists. I don't know if the whole thing is great.
Yeah, but this centers around this trial.
They live in the court. I mean, it's just nonstop in there.
Yeah. I think it's this. I've never watched 12 Angry Men, but I've heard 12 Angry Men is supposed to be really, really awesome.
Wow, you've never seen? I cannot believe that's great.
Never seen it.
Yeah.
Never seen it. But yeah, I would say Few Good Men for sure. That's all I got for you, Mark.
Beautiful. MVP. I mean, look, this was just loaded up. This is the '96 Bulls. I mean, you're just loaded top to bottom with Colonel Nathan R. Jessup, Jack Nicholson, because Cruz is going to be Cruz. I think without Nicholson being so awesome, the movie's not as memorable as it is. But that would be for me. You?
It has to be. I mean, you can't have him as one of the top 16 characters of all time and him not be the MVP.
He was awesome. Man, this was a ton of fun to just watch an old school, just great movie. Start to finish, I loved it. It gets me intrigued about like Apollo 13 and those kind of movies.
Let's do that. Let's do that next. Let's do Apollo 13 next.
We'll do it next. Bobby, just some quick thoughts here I want to get from you. The college football playoffs, we're down to the Final Four. You've got Oregon v. Indiana, Miami versus Ole Miss, who we're not sure who's coaching that team apparently here.
Seems about right.
Well,
what they did at Ole Miss, Mark, is they said, what is the best for the kids? Like, what is the best scenario for the college athletes that came to school there to play football there? Now, I know it's become a business, but just the love and care that they've given those kids to make sure they have the best possible way to succeed. I mean, kudos to everyone involved at Ole Miss. Great job. And Lane Kiffin and LSU. Just a great job.
Great job all around. But, yeah, did you read that story? Like, Golding's like, I'm not sure who's on the staff. And he goes, it's not my decision. How about that? Not my decision.
It's the guys at LSU's decision.
Yeah.
But it's the only way that he can handle it. He can say, listen, we'll deal with it. It was like COVID when coaches couldn't show up because they were said, we'll just deal with it. We got great people doing it. Like, he kind of took a shot at Lane Kiffin. He was like, Charlie Weiss. Everybody says Lane Kiffin's offense. Charlie Weiss has been doing it. I can't believe how poorly it's been handled by, and I hate to sound like this, but just by greedy, self-indulgent, egotistical adults. Like, and I know these kids are getting paid, and I know it's a business and everything, but it's just an absolute joke. An absolute joke.
Look, I hope they win it. I was just distraught that they beat the Dogs. It was, I think, Ellie's first introduction to pain as a sports fan. It got to the end. She goes, Dad, turn this off. I can't watch anymore. Just turn it off. Like, when all that nonsense was that. So she was disgusted. So it's part of why I feel bad. I'm like, I wanted to see him do good. Hats off to Ole Miss. That quarterback was ridiculous. I don't even know. Lane's got to be going, I'll never get a guy that good. He hopes to recruit a guy that was that good. So I'm rooting for him. I like to see him win it all. But my question to you, Bobby, was, this is the best performance you've seen? What was the worst out of the college football players?
Indiana.
Indiana and Alabama convert, like Indiana the best, Alabama the worst? Like, just you were shocked how bad Alabama was and how good Indiana was?
Alabama was outclassed in every single aspect, and it was just, I couldn't believe. I mean, you saw the weight differential. Now, I know those guys are good and everything, but you're 4th and 1 and you run some ender, just line it up and run it down their throat. And I think Cignetti was in DeBoer's head. I think DeBoer was outthought himself, trying to be the smartest guy in the room. Now, I know Alabama, it's more, you're thinking more the name on the front of the jersey, but like, they have better players than Indiana. You can't convince me anything else. Now, Mendoza's really, really good, and they've got a scheme. I'm so tired of Cignetti. Golly, I can't wait for them to lose. Like, whatever. But it's indisputable how good they've been. Like, it's hard to have a conversation around how good Ohio State was. Were they ever any good? I don't want to pile on, but like, were they ever any good? We talked about that. Like, I sent a text, like, let's discuss their best win.
Yeah.
Like, I don't want to pile on. Like, it's not whatever. I mean, but maybe they weren't as good. Maybe we fell in love with the name on the front of the, because we'd always said, oh, they're the best.
Sure.
Well, were they? Like,
no.
I don't know.
Clearly not. Yeah.
We'll see. But it is impressive what Indiana's done. And Alabama looked like they were in a different league. And I bet you DeBoer is, he would walk to Ann Arbor right now.
I think so. That was bad. That's going to be an uncomfortable offseason. Strangely, he becomes on the hot seat, I think, next year. Like, it's got to get better. Those fans have lost their mind. Georgia fans have lost their mind. You follow Georgia Twitter, it's like, wow. Like, you guys really need a dose of reality.
Do they? Are they really?
Oh, Bobo. I mean, they want to hang Bobo. He's the thing for that. And they were all over Kirby for some of his decisions, which apparently they were not supposed to snap the ball on that 1 4th and 2.
It's the first time it looked like it was poor
panic.
Coaching. Yeah. It looked like it was poor
panic.
coaching, and he's not perfect. But yeah, there was some things that went on. I was like, whoa, that seems odd.
Yeah, there was a lot of questions on that. The one that I don't agree with was, hindsight's easy. Like, hey, you should have ran it on 3rd and goal, because if you don't get it, the clock runs down. You have to score a touchdown there. That was the game, right? Yes. They weren't stopping Ole Miss, and that kicker crossed the 50-yard line. That dude was making it. I mean, he was the silent MVP of that game, and I think your text summed it up. One quarterback was elite in that game. The other was just good, and you're not beating a guy that's elite in that game. No. I hope Ole Miss wins it. Indiana's probably going to win it. Would you agree?
Yeah, I would probably say so. Although, Oregon's got again, we've got to figure out, okay, how good is Oregon? They really don't have a good win on the schedule. I mean, Texas Tech was good, but I didn't watch any Texas Tech football, so I'm not going to act like I'm an expert. They were 4th in the country. Yeah. But they got shut out.
Blown out.
I think what we're getting to is there was not many great teams in the country other than, Indiana is head and shoulders and torso and hips and feet above everyone else. They have really, really good wins on their schedule, and they look like it would be. What do they have to be? They have to be minus 300 to win. What are the odds for them to win the
clear
championship?
Favorites? Yeah. Anything. It'd be an upset for them not to win it.
Huge upset. Huge upset. Ole Miss or Miami beating them. I guess I think Oregon's good. I don't know, but if they win this game, they're playing Miami or Ole Miss. I would think they would be, damn near more than a touchdown favorite versus both of them. Probably.
I would agree. The clear favorite. What a world we live in, where Indiana's the favorite. Bob, final day of the NFL season, the Bears. Mm-hmm. The Seahawks looked really good last night. I think they're clear 1 seed. We win, we get the 2 seed. We play the Packers. We lose. I guess there's a chance we go to 3 and play the Niners. Do you?
Yeah, we got to win.
Do you care?
You've got I'm convincing myself that the Packers are really, really beat up. I have no interest in playing the Packers, but I don't really have a lot of interest in playing the. Will it be the Niners?
I think it'll be the Niners.
It'll for sure
or
be
the Rams. It's the Rams.
I don't want to play. I don't want to play either of those teams.
Ben Johnson summed it up for me.
That defense of Seattle is
real.
To hold those, that was really, really good.
Ben Johnson summed it up for me. He goes, "You want the best seed?" He goes, "I want 2." You go where I'm going? I want 2 games at Soldier Field. He's already beaten the Packers. He's going to host the Eagles in round 2. Had a blast, Bobby.
Yep.
We'll see you next time on the podcast.
See you, brother.